welcome to a new After Effects basic tutorial. My name is Cassie from CathyDirector, and in this After Effects tutorial I want to show you what is the timeline and the layers in After Effects. You can find the timeline and the layers on the bottom of After Effects. It's here. When you have that, you can see I will go and split it in two parts. It's the left side and the right side. And let's go and have a look first on the layer side. That's what I call it. And here a lot of stuff. And you can see right now, here is my example clip that we used in the project and the tutorials before. And if you want to learn more about how to create a composition and about the workspaces on After Effects, go and check out my other tutorials about After Effects Basic for beginners. So here, first of all, you have here your clip. Now let's go to the very top left part and start there with the settings. So first of all, you can here see, and when I can hover over it, you can see this is the time, and when I scratch through them, you can see here the numbers it changed. So this is the frames, the next is the seconds, minutes, and the last is the hours. And also you can see down below here, it says it's 20 frames too. And this clip is filmed by 25 frames per second. So every second it's 25 frames. Also you can change it by, when you hover it, you see it. Command click for alternate display style. When we do this, you can switch on the top is right now the frames, and on the bottom is the time. So you can switch between the bottom and the top. When you want to find some special layers, clips, then go on the top and search for your stuff over there. And here on the right, lots of buttons that I will explain in a second. So first of all, next section on the left is when you go over it, it's an eyeball. And the idea is for that to go make layers or clips, text, and other layers visible and invisible. So when I click now here, the layer will disappear. The next button is the auto button, and you can see it here, and I could go play through this. There's not much sound right now, but when I click here, there will be no sound. The next point here, you can see it here, it's not checked in here because when you have multiply clips, let me drag some more in here. Right now, I clicked on the second layer, and you can see, I just see the second layer. You can do this with multiplied layers, so when I hit these both, and there will be more layers, you can't see the third layer. The next one is the lock, so it's very easy to explain. It's a lock. When you hit the lock, you can change nothing. You also can go, and when you have 2 or 3 clips, you can highlight them and select them all. So now you can change nothing. Here, nothing. That's very good, so nothing get messed up. So let's go unlock these and continue. Then you have here the very little triangle. When you open this, it comes to the transform and the audio, so you can change your position stuff and all settings here. But this is for another tutorial, not in this one. The next one is the label color or the label. You can change the color to maybe yellow, and when you have hundreds of layers, you can organize them very good. Maybe you want to get the first clip and the third clip together, so go and hold on command, select both, select a color, yellow or aqua. So let's go for yellow. And now they're all yellow. That's this. And the next part is the number, some kind of thingy. It says what layer number is it. So when you drag this on the top, it's layer 2. And on the bottom, layer 3. Also can read here the source name. This is the source. That's my normal click. I call it woods. And when you click on layer name, it changed to woods. Well, you can change it if you want, because every layer, every clip has their own name. You can rename this by calling it whatever. Do some kind of funny thing here right now. So this is now your layer name. You named it that. You can rename a clip by selecting and hit enter and then change it and it's done. So the layer name is the changed name that you renamed also, and the source name is the original clip name. Next one is our kind of little guy that is hiding, and I hover over it. It says hides or layer in timeline. So when you have hundreds of layers, maybe you want to hide these both layers here. So I just click here, and maybe you think nothing happened, but when you click here on the top, because some buttons here on the top interact with some settings here. So I hit these both to go and hide, but it doesn't hide. So to activate this function, you go and click on the top here. Now they're hiding. So maybe you want to just work on one clip and later see all layers back together. So just go click here, enable this function, and you can maybe want to go click here again, and it's all done. The next thing is not that important. It says like here when you hover over it for complete collapse transformations for vector layers. So it's not that important. What you not really need this. The next one is the quality. So when you right now see this text layer here on the top, I can change here the quality. You will see the difference. Look at this font here on the O. I'm going to change now the quality. Yeah, this is very bad quality. This is better quality. So maybe you keep it all the time on best quality, but if you want to render some really big stuff, maybe you turn off all to bad quality. When you have some effects on your clip, let's go and drag some effects on there on a clip. So maybe on the first one here. And you see right now I dragged our effects clip here, brightness, contrast on the clip. You can enable the visual, the effect on the effect self here. Controls, you can enable this, whatever. And also you can go and enable all this stuff in here. So it's easier when you have hundreds of layers and want to go and enable 20 layers effects. You don't need to go each time in the effects controls and enable every effect in this one layer. So when you have multiply effects here, let's drag some in it. So maybe you want to go and close these both effects here on this layer. Just click here and the effect is enabled. So you don't need to go and click first here and click here, and when you want to have them back, click again here and here. So it's made all easier. The next one is frame blending. That's not really that important. You should not really go and use this, but when you hover over it, you can read it. What it is, it says frame blend interpolates frame content by weighted blending. So figure out this by yourself. The next one is the motion blur. It's simulate shutter. So it makes moving stuff look like it's moving. Let's make an example here. You see right now when we play this right now, it looks like a normal boring clip. But when you turn on the motion blur, and also you need to go and activate the motion blur here on the top. So let's go play it. See, it makes a bit more smooth. So yeah, it simulates motion. The next one is the adjustment layer. So it shows you the effects on our adjustment layer. Let's go and add a layer, adjustment layer. Also you can go and go to layer to create a new layer, and there are different lots of layers, but this should be another tutorial because there's so many options in here. So to create a new layer, you go to new. You can make a text layer to create text, a solid to create a solid like a black one or another color, whatever you want, and then you can add an effect on it or just use it as background. Then you have light layer. You can create a light and turn it around and let it interact with your footage or other stuff, but it's another tutorial of all these options here. Also a camera with making movements on null object, so you need it for tracking. And then we have a shape layer. You don't really need this, but shape layer you can make some triangles, rectangles and all that stuff, good stuff. Then the last is the Photoshop file, so you can make a Photoshop file. And what I want to show you right now is adjustment layer. Adjustment layer is an empty layer where you can put in effects. Yeah, made it a bit greener looking here. So right now, the effects that's on the adjustment layer are all applied to the layers above below. So when you hit here, it's no effects anymore, nothing. So yeah, that's that. Then the last one is the 3D layer. So when you have a text and want to go and make it looking like another direction in the video, like looking, it's coming out of the woods, whatever, you click the 3D and it shows up the X, Y, and Z thing here, controls. And you can go on the top here to the rotation tool or hit the W, and then you can go and rotate it like into the woods like that. That looks good. So when you right click on the menu bar here, like it says parent here, click right in there and it shows you hide this. So you can hide the parent section here, or you could hide the source name, whatever you want. But also you can go to columns, and there you have the AV features. You can shut them off like the eyeball and the solo layer and so on. So let's go and turn them on again. And right click columns, and then you can go and click to modes. So when you click modes, you don't need to go and use the toggle switch and modes, because when you click here, it turns on back. So here are the other functions that I explained already. When you click on toggle switch, it shows you more options. But you can go and right click column and click on modes, and it shows you directly all this stuff, so you don't need to toggle switch it. So here you can activate and on it activates columns like the modes. So maybe the switches, like all the functions that I showed you. So the next thing is the parent tool. So you can combine two layers in one. So when I go and select the wood texture, the wood text, and go and parent this with the first woods clip that's in the background, and I will go and drag around the wood clip here. It's also go and drag around the text, so it's glued together. Yeah, that's a good name. It's glued together. You can go and switch between all the layers. That's also on the left here. You can choose here a layer that you want to go and parent to, or you go and do it by yourself. So hold on the sign, click here and drag, and you see here it's a kind of lane here, and then left the mouse button in, then you can see here it's parent with the number 5 layer width. Yeah, that is that so far. Here we have the shy layer that I showed you already. The draft 3D look, you not really need that. The life update, it's very interesting. So maybe you want to go and resize the blue woods layer here, for example, and you go and change it. You can see it. It's a live change of the clip. You can see it. And when you hit the live update here, now it's disabled, and resize now the clip. You can see, you just see our kind of wireframe resizing thing, but it's very, very choppy when you resize it. So we do it like that, or resize it back like here. So activate the live update and you can go and make it live, but it's very computer intensive, so you not really need the composition mind flow here. It shows you just some kind of layer stuff. Yeah, you not really need this. Here it's brainstorm. It's very interesting. So the brainstorm is for that when you go and maybe I have select right now the adjustment layer with the curves control, so it all control the all the effects in this clip. So when I drag right now maybe the black and white in it, so all video stuff is now black and white, and maybe I want to get some other ideas for this black and white picture. What I could do is click on brainstorm, and it shows me some different options. You can go and maximize this window, or say include the next brainstorm. You can go and have a look here. Maybe this settings. Should we use this settings? I don't know. So let's go use this one, and you can make it bigger and you can save it as new composition or apply it to the composition. So maybe go and apply it, and here it's some settings. Choose by the brainstorm. Alright, that is this. And here you can see the auto keyframe properties when modified, but we don't have keyframes right now. This is another tutorial, so maybe come back later to have a look at the function of the auto keyframe properties. The next one is the graph editor. When you click here, it shows you a graphic thing here, and you can go and when you have some keyframes, you can see some graphics. You can go and change the time, but this is another tutorial. So on the bottom left, you can see when I click here, I can go and expand all the features that I showed you already, the functions. It's maybe almost the same, like you can go and expand and collapse the functions. Also, you can expand transfer control pane. It's with the modes and stuff. And when you click here, you can enable and show the time out, in point, out point, duration, and stretch. It's like the same when you go and click on the menu bar, right click and go to columns and turn off and on all the functions. But this is very cool, so you can go and show duration and all the functions and just go and enable. So maybe hide them. Yeah, hide them like that. So click here and here. So in the most functions gone. When you need them, just click here and change some properties. Now let's have a look at the timeline. It's very not much to explain. First of all, on the very, very top, you have the kind of time navigator. Yeah, it shows you all the whole length of the clip of the composition. And when you click this, you can also zoom in and out. So just hold on and drag it left and right. You can zoom in and out. Also when you go and zoomed in, you can go to the middle and drag this around, and you can go to one point in the timeline, wherever you want. The middle thing here, it's a current time indicator, but I call them scrubber because he's scrubbing through the footage, through the clips. The next line is the work area, and this is very important when you go and render a clip or work with lots of compositions here. When you go and render a clip, it's in After Effects rendering, it's on the add to render queue, it's the export option. So it will just go and export the region that's in this work area. So when I go and resize it to here, it would just go and export, render the 2 seconds. When I go to drag it to over here, it would just go and render this region, this work area, 6 to 8 seconds. On the bottom, you can see here it's another zoom in and zoom out option. Just go and hover over here and you can zoom in and out. It's the same like the time navigator. And on the right, you have, when you have lots of clips here, you can go and you can go and drag it up and down, scroll. Yeah, it's like scrolling up and down here. So the triangles down and up. And on over there, you have the comp button, brings forward the comp related to the window. Yeah, like it says, the comp button brings forward the comp related to this window. This is that. And the last thing is the comp marker. Or it says comp marker bin. I can go and drag it to somewhere else. So maybe I saw something on second 8. So I can go and drag the marker on there. I can give it a name if I want. And now I know that at second 8 is something. And this is most of the timeline and the layers. So also you can go and drag layer around. So it also go and show you another position of the movie, like here. So you can scrub here through, but also when you go and move a layer, it also go and move the movie too. So when also you can go and resize a layer by going onto the front and resize it to wherever you want, like here. So it starts with the bottom clip and then it goes to the top. I think this is it for the layer area and the timeline. If you have some more questions, I will try to answer them. And if there's some options that I didn't explain that well today, it's maybe because it's not option for another tutorial. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial, and please comment and like the video if you enjoyed. And maybe go and check out my other basic After Effects tutorials. And if you really enjoyed, maybe go and subscribe so you don't miss our next basic or maybe advanced After Effects clips or tutorials. I hope I'll see you next time, and bye.